Okay, take it away.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen real quick and I'm going to start off with get situated. Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So what I'm about to share with you, uh, first of all, I guess Susan and staff, can y'all share with me like how long the majority? I know there's some that have gone through this, but the majority of people that are here today, they've been here like a month, 6 months, 9 months, a year. Like, what's the range that we're speaking to?
I would say, what do you think, Steph? I would say probably
And
most people 4 months to a year.
some
Okay,
some year and a half though, Ashley.
Yeah.
okay, okay, great. All right, so for those that don't know our story, well, I'll share that in a minute. So, what I'm about to share with you guys, I'm only going to share with you because we've lived it. So, I will start with our story, and I'm not sharing our story to boast or to look at me or anything like that. I'm only sharing this to you because we've actually walked in your shoes. So this is Todd. This was at one of our boot camps that we actually used to do this training at. And Susan, Frank had gone through this training a couple of times. So we would have 100 people for 2 days come into our house. We would fed them 3 meals a day. We did bonfires at night. We, dove deep into the industry, the company, but the biggest thing is finding out their why. And so we would spend 2 days, 2.5 days of just really building the relationships and getting to know their why. And this right here was at one of our houses. We had over, I don't know how many Lexus winners. That was the car program. We had a car program. And then so we would celebrate them and we would have them come in and, leaders. This is a leadership actually. And then you could see Susan Frank and that big majority of that. There's Ken Bailey. That's part of your team. And now Susan Frank wanted when her and Josh went through this training, that's when she found out that her husband actually wanted a bus, an RV. And she had no idea. They had just one child at the time. And so for a Christmas present, she bought him a bus and surprised him with it, gave him, unwrapped the keys and bought him a one-way ticket to go pick it up. Well, then everybody on her team started doing buses. So you can see that's them parked at that's our barn that we had. There's our house. So all that to say that what I'm about to share with you, it's real. And if you will do it and stay with it and look at it every single day, it will happen. So this is how, and I want to also say what Susan Cameron was talking about and Steph and talking about, boosting and posting and all of that. Listen, that's as hard as it gets. That's your business. So I'm like, wow. Like, if this is the hardest thing that you've got to really figure out is sit down and read somebody's post and make a comment on it, guys, like, that's really the heartbeat of the business. So, all right. So, how to build your business on a rock? A lot of us just growing up, what do you want to be when you grow up? Right? That's the question we get asked. That's the question we ask our kids and future grandkids, right? That what do you want to be when you grow up? And most of us start on that path, right? We go to high school, we go to college, we get our first job, we get our promotions, and then we get that, we reach that pivotal moment, right? And we think we've arrived, and then you hit retirement. It's kind of like, oh, well, this is really what I thought. But not everybody goes that path. And then there's some, this is me, finishes high school and like, well, I really didn't like school. So why would I go pay for something I don't like? Right. And then you just kind of like, then, start on a path, you get a job. Well, that's not it. And you just, go start going through life. Right. And then you end up looking up 30 years later going, okay, well, this isn't quite what I thought it was either. So then as you're going through life, most of us, probably all of us, have one, two, or maybe three, all of this going on in our life, from financial stress to work stress, family stress. There's always that stress part of our life that we all have to walk through, right? So for me and Todd, we were walking through it, right? Like I didn't take the traditional route. He took the traditional route. But although we both had our dream jobs, because I was a stay-at-home mom, he was a high school football coach. When I tell you our life was Friday Night Lights before Friday Night Lights even existed, that show, that movie, my life was that. Like we had 3 kids at the time of this picture. That was that's our daughter who's about to have a baby right now, who's 26. We were living in Fort Smith, Arkansas at this time, where he'd won the state championship. Listen, like our 3rd child was born around football games because my doctor was a huge booster in town. We had 2 high schools in town, and if you didn't win and beat your rival team, like Todd didn't teach. He was not in the classroom. So if you didn't win those football games, you were getting fired. That was our life. And I realized that football coaches don't have that everywhere they go as we traveled out here. But in Arkansas, in Tennessee, it is that way. And so although we both had our dream jobs, he got his master's at University of Arkansas. He drove 1 hour each way for all summer for a year and a half to finish up and get his master's. But we didn't have our dream life. So that house right there, that's what we lived in. We had 1 car. It was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house with 3 kids plus Todd and I. And we rented that house from the school system. So the school system that Todd coached at owned a whole block of homes that no longer exist because now it's a huge indoor facility. So my driveway that our car parked at was closer than the teacher's parking lot. So Todd walked to work every day, came home, ate lunch. My backyard, I could see the practice field. So I knew when practice started, I knew when it ended, and I knew when to have dinner on the table. My 2 kids that were born 12 and a half months apart, they lived in our dining room. I had 2 baby beds and a changing table in the middle. Now listen, we're at the pinnacle of his career. He had his master's, won state championships. Now, when he won a state championship, we didn't get a bonus. We didn't get anything, but good job, you get one next year, you know? And at this point in our lives, believe it or not, we made $15 too much for WIC. I had 2 kids in diapers, 2 kids on formula. And it was like, took everything we had to just survive. We were just living paycheck to paycheck, below paycheck to paycheck. So this is our world. Apply that to you where you're at. Like, we don't know anything about this industry. So here, this industry enters our life. So this is a new business. This is something new, right? You didn't grow up to do this. So you can't bring your previous bad habits into this new business. It requires a new mindset. It requires new habits if you want new results, something different in life. We desperately wanted something different. We did things on the weekends and during the summer when, quote, coaches are supposed to have time off, which summertimes, the off season is busier than the in season. In season's actually a break, if you want to know the truth, because you don't have the 2-a-days, which I don't even know if there's 2-a-days anymore. 2-a-days, you don't have all the extras, the workouts, the 2 workouts a day to help ease everybody's lifestyle, the kids. So all that to say that this right here was just something so different. And we had a fencing company. I painted houses, waited tables, but we never got ahead. So when this entered our lives, we had been praying for something. We just assume God would give it to us in the world that we knew, right? It's kind of like when you pray for patience, and then all of a sudden, like all this stuff just starts happening, and it seems like you realize you really have zero patience. But what's happening is, like, we just expect God to like pour, like just dump out patience and pour it into us, right? And all of a sudden we magically have patience. That's not what God's doing. What God's doing is he's giving you opportunity, an opportunity for patience, to utilize what's in you to grow the patience that you have. And so that's what this is. We were praying for something, but looking for nothing. How that doesn't even make sense, right? But how many of us actually do that? And then when an opportunity comes, God gives us the opportunity, but because it didn't come in the box that we wanted it to come in, or that we know, and it's going to pull us out of our comfort zone, what do? Oh no, we give every excuse in the world why I can't do that. That's not going to work for me. I've seen those things happen before. They come through this town. Oh, that's one of those things. That's a scam, whatever. We give every excuse in the world. I'm too busy. I don't have the money. We come up with every excuse in the world to not do it when God's just given us the opportunity that we prayed for. So at the end of the day, you have to have your why, because this is a $30 business. People quit on things all the time. How many diets do they quit on a year? How many workouts do they quit on in a year, right? So people quit things all the time. So if you don't have your why, it's easy to quit, because it's kind of like, well, nobody expected me to do anything anyway. So as you start thinking of your why, I break it down. I get a little hard. I get a little rough with you. I might like just call it out, because I want you to succeed here. I don't want you to quit. So if you don't define your why, I say if it's not on a rock and it's on a sand, you're going to quit. So how to define your why between a rock and a sand? So a sand is I hear all the time, well, I just want to help people. Great. That's not going to make you return that call, do that Zoom, do that 3-way when you're tired, or when your child, something's going to always get in the way, right? You want to help family members, more time freedom. That's great. I love that. But in the beginning, how do you even know what that looks like if you've never had it before? Financial freedom. I want that for everybody. But if you don't know what it's like, you're not willing to go fight for it. And in the beginning, it's a fight. It's a battle, because getting started is always the hardest part. So now we're going to take a look at what it's like to build this on a rock. Your kids. I want you to write your kids' names out. Like, write them out. Pay off your debt. Well, that's great, but let's dive down deep. Let's really take a look at it. Like, write out each credit card name and then how much you owe on it. You want to buy a house? That's great. But are you going to go fight for just a house, any house? No, let's get specific. Let's really take a look at it. If you want retirement, that's great, but let's get specific about it. What does that look like? Planning it out, writing it out. Like, if your retirement is this, can you really retire on that? But you want to live this kind of lifestyle. What kind of lifestyle is that? You want to be able to go on vacation and not have to stay at Super 8. Super 8s are great if that's what you want to stay at. Or would you rather stay at the Westin? Or would you rather eat at a steak restaurant, or do you want to go eat at McDonald's? So take a look. Write all of that out. And then the last but not least, living broke. Like, surviving versus thriving. What does that look like? Well, for us, for me and Tide, living less than paycheck to paycheck. Being able to go out to eat on Sunday after church. Not having to cut coupons for an hour to go to the grocery store for 2 hours to make sure you got what's on the coupon, that was our life. So we wrote and I'm going to share with you what we did. So we were driving home, and Todd drew. First of all, I'm not a visionary. It took me a long time. I didn't grow up in that world. Todd kind of self-taught himself, but Todd's the visionary of our family. I have grown into becoming. I can visually vision my future now because I had to work at it. Some of us have to work at it, and that's okay. But you got to start somewhere. So this is what Todd started drawing this out. We were driving home from Fort Smith to Memphis, and he was like, "Well, I want this much land." I was like, "That sounds great." And he was like, "We're going to pay this much per acre." And I was like, $200 per acre. So we're going to spend $400,000 on land. Okay, that sounds great. Well, I want our house. This is how I want our driveway. I want our house here. I want our pool here. I want our barn. We're going to have this many horses. We're going to, and he started writing it all out, and $1 million, that's our budget. I'm sitting here. I mean, this is, 2001. So 25 years ago. And I'm just going, yeah, right. I mean, remember, we're living in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house with 1 car. I'm like, sure, Todd, sure, right, okay, But he drew it out, and then we copied that. He wrote that out a couple of times, and he put it in his office, in the coach's office. We framed this and had it in our 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. Off of the driveway was like an office space that you would walk into, and then into the house, and into the master bedroom, and really, and then in the kitchen. So we put that there, and then we had another one in the front part of the house. Not that the house was that big, but you know what I'm saying. So we had it quite a few places that we had to look at. So because in the beginning we were Todd, remember, we'd never done this before. And Todd would go into class. Go over to the school. He didn't teach. So he was in the weight room, or he's in the coach's office. And he had I think there was 9 coaches on the coach's staff. And he was like, it was a popcorn party every day. Like, are you rich yet, coach? Those things that come through here. I can't believe you're willing to put your name on that. You know what that's going to do. So everybody that says, I don't want to put my reputation on that. Like we do. Like, you don't think, thinking everybody thinks the same thing, and then he would walk into after a long day, with the kids and football practice, parents, administrators, boosters. He would come in and he would sit down on the couch, and, he's like, I just don't think this is going to work for us. And I'd say, okay. And then that would be it. And he'd get up the next morning and he would look at me and goes, okay, one more day. And I said, okay, one more day. And he would go and have his day, and he would come back in and he would go, golly, like, I just really don't think this is going to work. It's just not going to work for us. I go, okay, sounds good. And then he would, get up the next morning and just one more day, because you're going to want to quit. We had nobody around. We didn't know what an upline was, downline, sideline. We didn't know anything. Todd did start reading some books on this industry. He started growing his mind. He was listening to, whenever he could, the CDs and stuff like that. So I can just, now I'm going to fast forward. I guess it was about 8 years later. Well, we bought 2 houses on the lake. And then after that, we did this house. And this was, I think it was like 19,000 square feet. We had an extra guest house, another barn, and we had living quarters outside the barn. So my daughter wanted some horses. And that's what Todd wanted to do. He's like, I don't have much time with her left. That was our barn, 14 stall barn. So they got some horses, and he was like, as busy as we were, he wanted that last little bit of time. We homeschooled our kids just so we could travel. We could take our kids and travel with us, and just have our time together. So as we grew, our kids, we got a plane. We had a plane and a pilot, but I can just tell you that, at the beginning, your why will start, is your start. And as you grow, your why is going to grow and change, because, you're in different seasons in your life. But so, like, our two youngest, we started every season, every holiday season off in New York. Our two youngest boys, New York Giant fans. I do not know how that happened. So we'd go to the Rockettes. We would just kick our holiday season off in New York. We'd fly our plane over there. And then as they grew, you can just see just the time that this gives us. It allowed us to live 7 years. We literally did nothing, just retired. And our kids, two of our 4 kids played competitive sports from high school to college. And so this is we never missed a game from high school to college. And then this right here will make me cry every time, because he's our third child. He's the one that was born in Fort Smith, Arkansas. And so he's always been a Razorback fan. It's the craziest thing. So he's that kid that's the small, but he's got the heart of a lion. Just absolutely did everything right. But yet he was always that undersized kid. I don't know if y'all know much about football, but AJ McCarron, he was a quarterback at Alabama and then went on and played in the pros. We would travel. We had the ability to take Cade and travel from Destin over to Mobile to a quarterback coach who coached also AJ McCarron when he was in the pros. And that's Cade had a private session with the quarterback coach and AJ McCarron. They're working out together at quarterback. Like, the chances and opportunities that we had if Tide had stayed coaching, we would have never been able to afford to do anything like that. That this gives you, that what we were currently doing would have never given us. And then Cade got the opportunity to walk on at Liberty University, where Hugh Freeze was coaching at. And when he went there, his dream was, he looked out 4 years and he said, Mom, Liberty plays Arkansas on Arkansas's field. I'm going to be there. And I was like, okay, that sounds good, honey. Just keep working hard. Like, he was the hardest working kid ever. And third year in, his junior year, Coach Freeze came to him and said, hey, Cade, how would you feel about coming on to the coaching side of things? And instead of, what did you want to do? What's your career path? What do you think? Are you going to be a coach? Whatever. And Cade's like, I'm not sure. I'm thinking about coaching. Da, da, da. And he said, well, what do you think about coming on the coaching side of things? And Cade's like, I don't know. And Tide and I were like, dude, what are you thinking? Like, I'm just not quite ready to not be a player anymore. And I was like, Cade, honey, I didn't say this, but I'm thinking, you're the smallest kid on the field. You've had quite a few concussions. I'm a nervous wreck every time you even just in practice, because those kids are so much bigger and faster and stronger than you. And I'm thinking, hang up the cleats and let's be a coach. Like, you have an opportunity of a lifetime right now. But his dream was to be on that field, to keep earning as a walk-on, to travel, to be on that field in Arkansas. And he saw, if he became a coach, he was like, I just don't see, that's not my dream. My dream was to be a player. So, but God had better plans. He ended up being a coach, and he ended up being able to be on that field in Arkansas, and they beat Arkansas. And it was like his dream. He's walking up. Had he stayed as a player, he would not have been able to be on that field. He wasn't going to travel with them. But God had a plan. You just had to have faith and trust it. So to watch our kids to be able to walk out their dreams, we could have never been able to give them their opportunities. One, for Cade to go walk on at Liberty. Two, for Sierra to go, play lacrosse at Birmingham Southern and just pay for their college. Like, Todd was a coach. We lived broke. We were paycheck to paycheck. If they didn't get scholarships, they weren't going. If it wasn't in state, they sure weren't going, So you never know, just getting started, looking out is so hard, but you got to start with the present current circumstances of your why, and you can work outwards. And then this is the last piece of the equation that I'll share, that now it's the real time freedom that we have. Like we're at the beach right now, just Todd and I, Grayton Beach here. And this is work. This is work. You know, we went to Tahiti with the company. Todd and I stayed behind, went and stayed on a private island for 2 weeks, just us. And that was our guide. That's how we got to the island. He came and picked us up. We put our suitcases in that small little video boat. And so whatever groceries we had were in that small little video boat. We had a little kayak that we could go back to the main island and grab some groceries if we needed it and then bring it back over. But that was our life. I mean, this is our life. And so most people don't want to be part of the process. They just want to be that part of the outcome, right? But the process is where you figure out who's worth being part of the outcome. So you got to trust the process. Now I'm going to kind of get into some goal setting. So 80% of people have no goals. None. 16% have goals, but they don't write them down. 3% have goals written down, but then they can't go find them. 1% have goals written down and they look at them every single day. Be that 1% for your family. Just be that 1% for your family. And what are your goals? That's your why. That's your why. So what's your why? The heartbeat of your business is posting customers, convert customers to brand partners. The heartbeat of your business is posting customers, convert customers to brand partners. I'm going to say it one more time because there's so many different things that have come our way. But what made Susan Cameron, what created all that income for you? Posting your customers, converting customers to brand partners, and then teaching the next person to do the same thing. And then teaching the next person to do the same thing. As you're building relationships with those customers and those brand new brand partners, helping them figure out what do they want from their business that they can't get with what they're currently doing. So as you are here and you're growing yourself, growing your mind, some leaders could lead a few, some leaders could lead many, some leaders can lead the masses, but few leaders can lead leaders. Where do you fit in? And wherever you find yourself fitting in, are you willing to grow to the next level? So you got to learn how to build through people. Create the new mindset, create the new habits, posting, making comments on their post, boosting, and lead with the servant heart, not emotions. God gave us emotions for a reason. We all have emotions. All of us, men and women. But use them with the passion. Take those emotions and create it and turn it into the passion. And lead with passion, not emotions. So this is some of my favorite right here because this is creating that new mindset. God told Moses and Aaron to get the leader of each tribe and go scope out the land, right? Well, of each tribe, there's 12 tribes. So 12 leaders led 603,000 people, 550 people, 603,550 people. Listen, think about that for a minute. 12 leaders led the masses. That's a lot of people. So it wasn't just like some wimpy one guy from each tribe. The leader of each tribe had to be the leader of leaders, right? They weren't just some, passive person. And when they came back, all 12 of them, how many saw the future? How many saw reality that they could go take over the land. Only 2 out of the 12. Wait a minute. These are leaders of leaders. Where's your mindset? Don't be the 10, be the 2, one of the 2, right? Be the one that sees it no matter what, because you're going to have obstacles. You're going to have a bad day. You're going to want to quit. If you quit, what do you got to do? We quit. Todd and I had to go open up that picture frame, take that piece of paper out and wad it up and throw it in the trash. That was what we were going to have to do. I didn't want to do that. We weren't willing to do that. And this is one of my favorites. You're never going to be able to pick who will go do this business. I don't care what they do for a living, because I promise you, we were the last people picked in that country club to go do this business. The last person. So when we were invited to go see this meeting in Memphis, Tennessee, it was at Colonial Country Club. First of all, I've never set foot in a country club before. So I was only there because I didn't have to. My mother-in-law said, I'll babysit. So I'm like, we're going, because we lived 5 hours away from anybody, any help. So I had 3 kids, 2 in diapers, in bottles, formula, 24/7. So Todd's dad's like, a client of mine, everything he touches turns to gold. Why don't y'all go and take a look at this business I'm going to go take a look at? And my mother-in-law literally said, I'll babysit. And I was like, oh, we're going. So we went, and Todd's sitting there. We sat on the back row, and you can so see Todd doing this. He's a coach, and he's leaning back in this chair. Like, we're in this country club, and he's sitting in this chair, and he's leaning back, just rocking back and forth. And I'm thinking to myself, he's going to fall back. Like, any minute now, he's going to flip back on his back any minute. I wasn't paying attention to what the guy was saying. I was just sitting there going, I was enjoying the piece. I didn't have to go fix a bottle. I didn't have to change a diaper. A baby wasn't crying. And Todd was probably, I guarantee you, thinking about that last game that we just lost or won, whatever. X's and O's, the player, whatever. And so after it was, and mind you, we're in a country club full of people, CPAs, successful career-oriented people. And then you have a high school football coach and a wife that didn't work. We were broke, So we were the last people sitting in that room picked to go do this business. Mind you, we were the only ones in that room that actually went and did it, and did it big. So just like this, I'm going to follow it up with Samuel 16. God sent Samuel the prophet to Bethlehem to anoint the new king. He was told to send for Jesse and his sons, and he would tell them which one to anoint. Jesse brought 7 of his boys. When the oldest, Eliab, walked in front of Samuel, the moment Samuel, who's a prophet, saw him, he thought, this must be him. God quickly corrected him. A man sees with his eyes. God sees a man's heart. As each son went in front of Samuel, God told Samuel that son was not the one. Samuel asked Jesse if this is all his sons. Jesse said the youngest didn't call him by name. Jesse didn't even call the youngest by name. Is out in the pasture keeping the sheep. Samuel told Jesse to send for him and said, we won't eat until he arrives. So in other words, hurry up because I'm hungry. As soon as he entered, God said, that's him, anoint him. David's own father didn't even invite him to the meeting, did not even call him by name with the prophet. And the prophet just assumed immediately the oldest was the future king because of his stature, the way he looked. We all know the rest of the story. We know that David went on to defeat Goliath, became king 17 years from being anointed, and is known as a man after God's own heart. David's own father and prophet did not have him picked. You go be that person. Be the new result for yourself, your family, and your family's future legacy. That's it. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. and then come back. And if y'all have Susan.
Ashley, you're so amazing. We love this training. This is the best. So inspiring. Oh my goodness. Look where you guys came from. It's just so incredible. And I'll ask Ashley to do this. And she's kind of like, who am I? I'm like, girl, you are inspiring. That's who you are. Like you are the brains and the heart behind all of this as well, right? It takes two. So, so what Ashley had us do last time, you guys, and Ashley, you can help guide us on this, is let's take a break for about 10 minutes and everybody write down on your paper kind of what your why is. And Ashley, what tips do you have for them in terms of kind of it driving them to tears? You know, like you have us come back and you're like, that's not it. Like, can you coach us a little bit on that?
Yes. So I want you to be like vulnerable, vulnerable to the point that it's hard to even share or even say it because if you're not going to be real with yourself, then it's hard to get real and go out here and go fight for this. Because like I said, it's a $30 business. This is easy to quit, right? Nobody expects you to go do anything here. Nobody. Your family, nobody expects you to go make millions. If I told you, if you would go dig a ditch for next 5 years, and at the end of the 5 years, I'll pay you $5 million and $1 million for the rest of your life. Would you do it? Yeah, right? Well, this is a lot easier than going and digging a ditch, right? This is a lot easier. I mean, and the rain and the snow and the thunderstorms and the lightning and all that, you got to still keep digging. And 100-degree heat, humidity, you got to keep digging, right? This is a lot easier, but it's a lot easier to quit. So if you've got to get real, you got to get real with yourself. You got to be able to get vulnerable, because that's what's relatable. Like, everybody has debt, guys. Everybody is living broke. I don't know if anybody's been in the grocery store lately, but holy cow. I don't even have 4 of my kids at home anymore. And I didn't even buy like I used to buy. And my grocery bill was over double. And I'm thinking to myself, how's anybody doing it? And we make great money. But I still question, like, wow, gas, diesel's almost $6. Gas is up, groceries up. Like, get real with yourself. Because I don't know any other way out there that the average person, this is what I love, I don't care how many PhDs you have. I don't care if you don't have a PhD or you even went to college or high school. I don't care who your dad is, where you, anything. This is a level playing field for everybody. Some people like it, some people don't. For me, I love that. It's a level playing field. I didn't have the opportunity to go to college. I didn't have the money. I didn't have the funds. I wasn't raised in that kind of world. I've worked since the day I turned 16, always worked. This gives me a chance to actually be able to go do something and help another stay-at-home mom be able to stay at home with her kids and build in an extra stream of income. So I have to get real with myself. What am I willing to do that I'm going to have to give up? I might not be able to watch as much TV. I might have to miss a kid's basketball game here or there. I would if I had a job. But if you will get real with yourself, this isn't for life, right? This is just for, give yourself 5 years here and then look up. Give yourself a 5 years, but get real with yourself. Write your kids' names, write your grandkids' names, write down your debt, write down, like, get real. Don't tell me you want, time freedom when you've never had it. And when Susan came to me, I was like, she was all over the place when she was asking. And I was like, no, I need you to like zone in. I need you to like zone in on what you really want, like right now, that you're willing to not give up, that you're willing to go fight for. And I'll fight for my kids' future. I'll fight to get out of debt. I'll fight for not having to go spend 3 hours on coupons. You know what I mean? I'm dating myself, I know, but everybody knows what we're talking about, right? So I just challenge you to be real with yourself and be vulnerable. And I realize some people have a luxury that they live comfortable. So if you live comfortable, then what is it that you're wanting, that you're willing to fight for? I always say the enemy of a great life is a good life. The enemy of a great life is a good life. If you live comfortable, that's the enemy of great.
Oh,
And
thank you so much. Steph, you want to keep the time for us? 10 minutes. Does that
yeah,
sound good for everybody?
that sounds good.
And then let's come back
Yep.
and share.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, Susan. I thought mine open up if anybody want, or Steph, if y'all want to, if there's anybody that has their why that they might want to come back and maybe.
Perfect. Perfect. Anybody want to share? Don't be shy.
Saw a hand. There we go.
I'll go.
Debbie. Okay. All right,
Sorry.
Emily.
My daughter's here in the background putting away dishes, so if you hear any clanging. So I have a son who is autistic, and I've been a stay-at-home mom for the last almost 13 years. And so that has financially changed us. Stop, Evie. And this is my 9-year-old. And my husband has worked really hard to provide for us. And we still are paying off our student loans. We have $93,672.52 left. We are in a rental home that we've been here for over 12 years, and we need to move out. And we need a bigger place. And I homeschool our kids, by the way, as well. And so my husband has worked Amazon part-time for several years. He had to do that full-time when he lost his job. I do some hab hours and do partner co as well. And so those are the things. I don't want to have to work the extra jobs to pay off the debt. I want the business to grow so we can pay off the debt. We can be able to afford a bigger house. Even if it's short term, we can rent a bigger house, but be able to buy a house. My daughter, I asked her, I said, what's your dream? And she says, I want a ranch with horses and cows and goats and chickens. And she wants to visit Tennessee. We live in Phoenix, Arizona, but I'm a farm girl from Oklahoma, so I'm totally great with this. I said, what if we lived there? And she goes, I would love that. And also too, for my son, we want to be able to have a property where he could live in maybe a tiny home or something independently until he's ready to really move out on his own. We don't know when that's going to be or if that's going to happen, but I want that ability for him. I want more family time and family vacations without any restraint on how much money we're spending, where we're going, what we're doing. We want more family time. And, things like I want to pay for my daughter to get an expander. Would not worry about the cost of that. So those are the things that are really big for us as far as our goals, or for me, at least. I know my husband's on board with all this too. So
That's what I was about to say. That's your next step, Emily, is that making sure that your kids, because you homeschool, so there's going to be a time when you're going to have to put that homeschool in, like, okay, so what are my hours of homeschooling and what are my hours of partner co, right?
Right.
Well, and if my husband, okay, while I'm doing partner co and he's watching the kids, making sure that y'all are in complete alignment with understanding, because this is extra and this is easy to put partner co on the back burner because you don't have to answer to anybody, right? But you do have to answer to yourselves, to your family. So if y'all are all completely, make sure you write it out and put it in quite a few places. And then make sure that y'all are always aligned. So like, he's tired, you're tired, but you've got to go do a meeting. Like, why are you having to go do a meeting and leaving your kids at home and he's watching them? Well, remember what our goals are. You're not at this meeting for, a party. You're at this meeting to grow our business, not your business, not his business, but our business, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, and then on your, I will just say, y'all as a family, like, draw out the ranch. And draw out how many horses, how many cows. Like, start with, let them start being a part of that vision too, as well. And then have it in multiple places. But that's a great start, Emily. I love it. And then treat this, your partner co business, your family business, as your number one, right? Because this is it. So who do you trace up to? Because y'all's business.
Steph Pepper.
Steph. Like, she's your new BFF, right? Like, talk to her every day, talk to her people, make sure you know her customers. Like, Steph knows. She knows. She's great at this industry, great at this business, and she's a great people person. Utilize her. You don't have to do this by yourself. That's one thing I think women like to do because we're super women. Right? We can do this all by ourselves. We don't need help. Utilize Steph And Steph
Mhm.
wants you to use her three-way calls, Zooms. Let her come help do some drop talks, things like that. Like, utilize her. That's what she's
Mhm.
here for. She's here to help you till you have a place that you can go do this for the next person. So
Yeah.
great job. I'm excited for you, Emily.
Thank you.
All right, who's next? Shannon?
Can I go?
Deb? Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Ashley. So a couple of weeks ago, I started my prayer board. I like to call it prayer board. And I had just done what you had said, the kind of the in general stuff. But today, what my notes were is write down exactly what you see for each child and each person. So when I was writing it, oh my gosh, it turned into like, like on pages now. And so I probably need a little help condensing it because I'm a teacher by trade, so I tend to keep going. Any feedback I would love to get from you on, I like your idea of the draw it out.
Or yeah, and if it's for each child, like what are you wanting for each child? And how old are your kids?
They're all grown, but they have children of their own and they're all establishing, and we want to see them completely walking in their full destiny, and also us being debt free to be able to travel and do things with them more.
Okay, so start with yourselves first.
Okay.
You got to put your oxygen mask on first.
Okay.
And help others, family, and grown adult kids. Like, you got to put your oxygen mask on first.
Okay.
So start with yourselves, start with your debt and what you guys want together.
Okay.
Then you attack what you want from your kids, what you want to do with your kids, and then write it out specifically. Like, just get specific, each child.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Shannon, you're up. Let's go, girl.
Okay. Good morning. I always love listening to you. So I wrote down, I really want to retire from my business. Like, my first why is my kids and their college, their student loans, right? And that always gets me every time because I hate that my son is starting his life in $100,000 in debt. Like you just said, it's already so expensive, groceries and everything, and our kids are having a hard time living in a decent home by with one income. They can't do it anymore. So, some of these kids are having to live with roommates in their 30s because they can't do what we did when we started a family. And so for him to want to start a family at 35 years old, and he's already $100,000 in debt, like it's inconceivable that he can live comfortably, right? So to help him pay that off has always been my first why. But then, as I get into Partner Co, as I've come in and I've really just love this company, right? I just love it. And I've not done, network marketing before. So this is all very new to me and wanting to become a better leader. But right now, this last probably 3 months has really been a challenge at the spa because we lost one of our receptionists. So now, instead of being able to, because I've loved Partner Cone, I've loved reaching out and teaching people, and I love that. And now that I have been shackled to a desk for the last 2 months, ever since I got back from Destin, it's been rough. Like, my stress level, it's just, I love the spa, and I'm so thankful that God has provided that for me, because that gives me security. It gives me a paycheck, right? But in this last 6 weeks, it's made me really realize that I want out of that environment. I love it. I appreciate it. So I just sat and got really clear with, what do my monthly bills look like without the spa? Because that business pays for my car. It pays for my gas. It pays. So what do those numbers look like? You know, um, So what would I need a month to live comfortably? And then now let's add on my vision. I have the vision of this house that I want. In my mind, I tried to draw it when we were in Destin, but I can visualize it better than I can draw, right? So every day I see it, I walk through it, I put my hands up in the air and I dance through it, and I sit outside on the patio with my cup of coffee overlooking the pool and the lake and the boat. So okay, so how much is that house going to cost me, right? And then monthly, how much does that boat insurance look like? And my new car, how much does that insurance? So I broke it all down. Okay, so all in all, how much does that look like a year? And then now add, if I pay the kids' student loans off in 5 years, what does that monthly look like? So that's kind of what I wrote out as far as numbers. Um, and then now it's like, okay, so how, because I'm not used to network marketing. Okay, so now how does that translate, and how many brand partners do I need making how much money? What do my lines look like? Now that's the second piece.
And that's that, like, you just hit the nail on the head, girl. Like, that is what I'm talking about. That's how I operate. Like, you just take that and now we are going to apply it into your business, right? So I am, first of all, Shannon, holy cow, I'm so proud of you.
Thank
Like,
you.
you can do this, but you don't have to do it alone. You do not have to do it alone. And you have been. Utilize Steph. Utilize Susan Cameron. Like, they are your BFFs now. And let them work with your people. Like, let everybody, you've got a tribe behind you waiting, like sitting here going, use me. Not that you haven't, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to be Superwoman on all of it. Like, as we're trying to get you retired out of your spa, let them come in and let them build relationships with your team, with everybody, and help them and help you grow as you're growing, right? To help you kind of step back in and wherever you're at, but utilize them. Like if I could tell, I know we all struggle with this because we have conquered life by ourselves for so long. It's hard. Like, I have a hard time asking for help. I just do. I don't need help. Why do I need help? I've raised 4 kids. I did homes. I did it all. Like, I need help, right? We all need help at some point. So, Shannon, you can do this. You have, every single one of y'all, obviously, y'all have what it takes to go do this. You're here on a Saturday morning, Easter weekend, for your family. So, Shannon, now we can do that privately and take and utilize those numbers that you have, and then we're going to apply it down into your business. And then you're going to start work, and then I'll get with you and Steph and Susan, and we're going to utilize, digging down into your business, each person, and building relationships with them. Okay. So we'll go offline, like first of the week, we'll do this offline, but that's exactly like Ashley Antley. When y'all hear her say she won that trip to Tahiti, she called me and she goes, I need to know exactly what I need to do to win that trip. I said, well, this is how much money you need to make a week. That requires this many brand partners. That requires them going all, so we broke it down into numbers for her. And she said, okay, I don't want just me going. What if I want my husband to go with me? So we doubled the numbers. So that is exactly how she got to Tahiti, and exactly what you asked. So you just asked the $1 million question.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you for you. We love you.
Love you guys. Love you. All right, Cynthia, let's go, girl.
Unmute. There we go. I'm muted. I have well, I did a vision board and I have it by my desk every day. And I look at it, but I haven't been looking at it. I know. I tried to do another one. One is the major thing for me. I mean, I know it's like pay off my debt. I already wrote the amount of debt I have, each credit card and each amount for each one. And I put myself as a deadline of at first I did June 30, but I don't know if I'm gonna get there yet because I'm still working on me. So I
All right,
pushed
so
that.
I'm going to tell you right now, don't play God. Don't dictate your outcome. Just write it out. That's all I ask. Don't dictate your outcome.
Okay. And then the second one is my health. I have to work on my health. I am a product of the product, but I still have a battle, an addiction to the sugar. And that's my major problem. And I've gained some of my weight back, I'm being honest. And I want to get back on track. But it's so hard with that sugar and the craving and the food noise. I don't know why it keeps coming up. I tried different things and I'm still working on me. I'm trying to find a different method to curb that wicked sweet tooth that has me, like craving it. So I put into my why I wanted to lose 30 pounds by July 4th because I want to be independent from that dependence. And then I chose stop the sugar craving, meditate for 30 minutes daily, work on 30 minutes a day, drink more water, which I know I'm a bad girl for that. But Max 2O it does its part, but not all. I still need to drink water. And and that's just me. And every time I look at myself in the mirror, I get depressed because I'm like, it's hard. So I try to post, I do have my before and after, but it's just so hard. So yeah. And then of course the last one is my retirement, of course. I had another venture that I lost all my money, so now I have to rebuild that. So that's my third.
Okay, so, Cynthia, love it. And in your struggles real, everybody has those struggles, right? We all at some point and season in our life, we all go through those kind of struggles. So I will just first I want to start with who do you trace? Share with me how you trace back up in your upline.
How do I what? I'm sorry.
Like who do you go? Like trace who you belong up to? Like who?
Who's at the top of your business?
Yeah.
Natalie Stroyer.
Okay, yeah.
I have above me.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So we can help. So this is a journey. Remember, and your health journey. Take everybody on it with you because everybody can relate to what you're just talking about. Like that's real struggles. And so, as you do that, you're going to grow your business as well. Like, the food noise is getting less. The sugar cravings are getting less. And then this is what's happening as those sugar cravings are getting less, as that food noise is getting less. But as you do that, we're also, what we will do is, you take that, what's the priority here? Is getting out of debt obviously would be your priority, right? So
Yes.
write that out, and then we're gonna just start marking it off, but you're gonna do your health journey along the way as you're growing your business.
Yes.
And so, but don't dictate the outcome. Just start, right? Okay. Just start. But I love it. You're done great, and you're here on a Saturday, and just write it everywhere. Just put that everywhere you're at, and look at it every single day. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, Regina. Susan, I'm going to tell you, I've been nice to everybody, haven't I? Really
Yes.
been nice.
Yes, you have. Thank you, Ashley. I really appreciate this. It's a little bit different. I'm not going to keep you too long because I see that you are at the beach and I'm actually outside. I'm 61. I'll be 62 this year. And I have actually, I've already done the time at my 9-to-5 jobs. I quit about 10 years ago when the last doctor that I worked for passed. My husband lost his job about 3 years ago. So It's been a fight. It's been a struggle, but I've kept with it. These three ladies that are the other ladies that talked, Cynthia, Emily, and Shannon, they hit the nail on the head when they wrote out their bills and how much their goals were, what they wanted to be in 5 years, where they wanted to be in 5 years. My dad's 92. And he's asked me from the beginning, how many boxes of drops do you want to sell a week to make enough money? How many people do you want to sign up and residual money from them? What I want to do, I want to help my kids out. I've got one son, he's 34 and married. I have a 13-month-old grand. Both of them have student loans. They're doing pretty good. But I want to leave my children better off than I am. I want to leave them something. So that's what I'm working for. My house will be paid off. I have 3 payments on my house. Of course, we need repairs done. So I want to do that too. I also wanted to help my daughter-in-law be able to stay home with her new baby and not have to go to work. I'd love to go on vacation more than I do. I do go on vacation a good bit, but money is a holdback on that. So time is not. We can go anytime we want to. It's the money part. And probably most of all, I'd love to help others see this vision. More people see this vision, see how to join the group, our business and our group, and help them grow. Just to motivate more.
So I'll tell you what, the best way to have more people see this vision is by you live it. By you living your vision.
I do.
So write out like your trips that you want more trips. Write out what trips you want to go on. Like, where do you want to go? How long do you want to stay? What kind of hotel do you want to stay at? Do you want to eat steaks or do you want to eat McDonald's? So what's your food budget? Right, get specific with it. And then, what kind of repairs are you wanting to do? Like, prioritize your why then. Because like I said, a good life will be the enemy of a great life. And so prioritize your why. What kind of the repairs, how you want to do them, what one's important, what one's first, things like that. And then if you want to help your daughter-in-law stay at home, what does that look like? What kind of money does that look like for her to be able to stay at home? That kind of thing. But I love it.
Okay. Just get more specific, prioritize with it.
Yes. And then write it out. And then you and your husband, it's a commitment. What's going to make you keep selling those boxes?
Because I love it.
And then, but after you get tired after a while, right? And then are you converting those customers when you sell those boxes over into brand partners?
Yes.
So then are you helping the next person do the same thing? And then once you're doing, are you teaching them to be able to go do what you do? Right? It's just like, to me, for me as a mom, I look at it like this. You're teaching, like you teach your kids how to unload the dishwasher. Why are you teaching them how to do that? Responsibility, right? They feel empowered and responsible, right? But really, truly, we're working ourselves out of a job. But if you're not building your business on a solid foundation, then as you're working yourself out of a job, you really don't have a strong foundation. You're just always going to have a job, right? So our goal here is to teach the next person exactly how to build a strong foundation. And that's getting relationships with the next person and working and helping building them and train them to do the exact same thing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
All right. So I can't see the name of the next one. Rachel?
Robin.
Rachel?
Okay, Robin.
I'm sorry. Robin. Sorry, the sun's hitting. I had to get out of the truck. My daughter, who's 36 weeks pregnant, can't walk on the beach. So Todd just went and got her to go pick her up. So I had to get out of the truck.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thanks, Ashley, for doing this. And I appreciate it. And I kind of am sinking in the sand right now, as I could probably say. And you hit the nail right on the head with me. Letting a good life get in the way of a great life. So I've been working with my husband to see the vision together, using my vision boards. We've been putting God first recently, which we've always been believers, but now we're going to church regularly. And I just feel like as Barb says all the time, God is on the move, and I feel like it's just starting to happen. I love that, Barb. Thank you. So just, trying to set our goals, and our kids are grown. They're 24 and 28. So just kind of want to work on myself and helping my team, because I've got a great team of girls and some guys work in the business, but we kind of are stonewalled, and just want to help everybody, in my business get on the right mindset so that we can continue to spread what a beautiful gift we have with Partner Co. So I've written down, I want to pay off debts. We don't have a lot, again, the good life and the great life, but want to pay off our house because we do want to move to Florida. So there's about $200,000 to pay it off. And we do have cash in the bank, but it's, do you want to do that and put it all into, something? And no, I want to, have build up that retirement. That's where I'm kind of struggling. I had to leave teaching for health reasons, and, don't have that pension to rely on like other people who have been in the teaching. And I know a lot of people don't have retirement anymore. So, that's what I'm working towards, building up retirement, at least $1 million. And it's in the works, but, with 401 and 403s, but we're a long way from there. And my husband, he's in commercial real estate, and his years are sink or swim years. So again, it's not knowing, from year to year what's coming. So I feel like, this business, Partner Co., and what we have is definitely, leading the way for our vision, and just want to, be able to break down the business like you were talking about, and figure out, what I can continue to do to help, myself and my teammates.
So Rob, you just hit the nail on the head. I hope you're sharing your story. That's your testimony. Is that why you're doing Partner Co? It's for retirement.
That's the main reason. Yeah. Because I left teaching after 27 years and don't have, retirement, and I'm 57. Yeah. So
how many people can relate to that?
Yeah.
A lot. You know how many people don't have adequate retirement? Everybody.
Right.
Just about everybody. Right. So what I need you to do is just write it out. Like, so if you want to, supplement it, how much were you putting in before when you were working? And then write that down. And then how much do you want to actually really put in? Like what do you want it to look like in the end?
Yeah.
Write that.
Yeah. No,
down.
I have that written down. I don't know, if you want me specifically saying I can spit it out now.
You don't have to say it out loud in front of everybody, but we can go offline with that, and then you can start applying that into your business. And then, but the only way you achieve that is by finding out the next person's goal in your business and helping them go achieve their goal. It's the only way for you to achieve your goal is your team, making sure everybody on your team know their goals, and then helping them go achieve theirs. That's really how easy it is. And then
it seems so easy.
And
everybody like
do. And then what you do, you just share your journey. Share your journey. I mean, people share, like, they share what they eat every day. They share their kids' birthdays, their anniversaries, the weddings, the new baby, new grandbaby. Why not share this? This is real life, right? We're too scared to share our lives. But really, the life is what everybody really wants to see. They don't want the fake side of things, because you can relate to life, right? Like, oh, I need to supplement my retirement. My husband's in real estate too. It is sink or swim. Gosh, that's the first time I really heard somebody say that or put it that way. I thought every real estate agent had a great life. You know what I mean? Like, no, it's hard. So anyway, just get real, and then get with your team, get with your people, anybody that you have brought on board in your business, and go find out what their goals are. Go find out what their why is. Why are they here? Like, if it's health, then that's great. But let me show you a business side. Let me show you why I'm doing this business side. Put your name on it, Robin. Put your name on it. Put your stamp on it. Because, see, people think these things come through. They're going to quit, you know, they're not going to be here long term. This isn't long term kind of thing. This is a long term if you want it to be. It's not that this industry doesn't work, it's that people quit things all the time. So it's easy to quit this. So just like let them know, like, hey, listen, I'm supplementing my retirement. So I want to know what you want here from this and from your business that you can't get with what you're currently doing. Let me help you go achieve that. Wait, you want to help me? Yeah, and I've got a team of people behind me that want to help you as well. Introduce them. Like, make sure that everybody here knows everybody's tribe that goes up. Like Susan Frank, Susan Cameron, Steph, you know, everybody here. I'm sure I know I'm missing some people. Amber, Cheryl. There's y'all got some amazing leaders here. Y'all are leaders.
Yes, we do. We
y'all
are blessed.
Just got to go out. You just got to. Yes, y'all really are. Y'all are a powerhouse. All y'all got to do is just go do the fundamentals every day. And it's easy to get away from the fundamentals. It's easy to not want to do the fundamentals every single day, right? I mean, Shannon can relate to that. Like, I don't want to go run 5 miles every day, but I know I need to, right? That's just the cardio side of things, whatever, you know?
Right.
That's a simple fundamental thing. I'm not saying 5 miles, you know what I mean? But it's easy to not want to do and get away from the fundamentals. But the fundamentals here, what made all of everybody money quick in their hands, excitement. It created a surge of excitement was posting, sharing their journey, getting to know their customers, and then helping the next person do the same thing. It just created so much excitement. And don't get away from the fundamentals, and then just getting with your person and helping them go achieve their goals.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. One more. We'll do Karen. Is that Karen? Yeah.
When I started my journey here in Partner Co. was December of 2024, and you blessed me by doing a call with me and one of my brand partners and helped me to start dreaming again. My husband was already sick at the time and had just retired. Now we've been on this journey with him for almost 600 days. It's progressing worse, and my dreams have changed some. When I started, I wanted to help our youngest grandchild, who has many medical issues, but is a brilliant little child. And I also wanted to do a community garden for our town to help feed the people there. Now I have added in with my husband, as we're finding more things medically wrong. And I just want to be able to take him to where we need to go and hopefully get him some help, because no one wants to deal with such a complex medical issue of someone. But during this time period, after I spoke with you, and thank you so much, I began to dream. I began to see, and he was at a point there that I could really work this business hard. I climbed into the top 100 in the U.S. and into the world, and kept moving and working and doing. And as the last 7-8 months have happened, things have gotten worse with him, and I'm struggling with priority of leaving him to work this, trying to fit it all in, get him to 2 and 3 times a week, making a 250-mile journey for doctors.
So Karen, let me ask you a question. You're beautiful. First of all, you're amazing, and I remember. Tell me, are you with Susan? You personally sponsored by Susan Cameron?
I'm personally sponsored by Tori Self, who is 2 under, I believe, Susan Cameron.
Okay. All right. So that's where Susan Cameron and Susan Frank, that's where like all of them, and so they all come in and they get like, you don't have to do this alone, right? Like you've got a powerhouse behind you. Like let them come in and get to know your team. Let them start building, put them in threads with everybody. So like when you can't answer or respond, they can. That's the why, like that's what this is, instances like this, because life happens for everybody. If you try to go build your business all by yourself, because when life happens and you have to step away, like why would you, like why? You don't have to. You've got a powerhouse of people above you that are willing and wanting to be a part of building and getting to know your people. Like bring them in and let them get to know. And then that way, when you have to be at that doctor's office, which that's your top priority, that's where you need to be. You don't have to. That's where you need to be, right? That's why you've worked so hard. Let them come in and let them be a part.
That's where I struggle because I'm a do-it-myself kind of person, and Susan have been amazing and tell me, Susan Cameron all the time, let us help you.
Yeah, so, I know she does. So how about this? I'm giving you permission, Karen. It's an order, right? I'm giving you permission.
Thank you.
Don't, there's no reason for it to be like that. Let them come in. That's what we're here for. That's what we do. Like, let us be, because, you know, say you haven't, okay, I'm just going to use an example. Say you have a Michelle, like 5 levels down. And she starts being a rock star, right? And she's growing, but she's not in it. I'm not saying that you're like this. I'm just saying that she's wanting to do it all by herself. You're going to be like, hey, let me come in. Let me help you build. I want to get to know them. I want to be a part of it. I'm going to help lift you up. I want to support. Because as you well know, life happens.
It does.
Amy, when life happens for you and you need to step away, your business now knows us. And they feel comfortable reaching out to us, and we can help them because we built a relationship with them. So it's just all about bringing them in and letting them come in and like I said, we don't have to do this by ourselves. We're not super women. I know we feel like we are a lot of times, but here at Partner Co, we do not have to be that. And I'm giving you permission to just relax, enjoy the process, be with your husband. And then let Susan and all the people that I'm missing out that might be between y'all two come in, wrap their arms around you, and help be a part of your business.
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you. So can you
You're
answer
welcome.
one more thing for me? How do you not feel? I feel guilty for missing calls and not getting my posts in, and trying to be that superhuman is it's wearing me down.
Hold on, they're back. I'm gonna go get in the truck real quick.
Okay.
1 second.
Hey, Karen, your ability to be vulnerable right now, darling, and share kind of the space you came from. I think a lot of us who've been here a while can relate to some type of momentum if we're fortunate enough in the beginning. Yeah. And then it tapers off, and then you have a team and you're a leader and you have a voice and somewhat of a brand. And then you're like, oh man, I have fallen so far from where I was and where I want to be, as you really, save your husband's life.
Yeah, Karen, I mean, if I can, like, you got to let that's the devil. The guilt, that's devil. That's not from God. God has you right where you're supposed to be. He surrounded you with the right people for this time in your life. Like, embrace that. Don't let the devil come in and steal that from you.
Okay. I don't want to let my team down.
You're not letting your team down. What your team sees is like, hey, that's what this business is about, right? What you got started, season in life, it's just a moment. It's just a season. Your first priority is God and your husband. That's it.
Exactly.
So allow Susan Cameron, allow Susan Frank to come in, wrap their arms around you. God brought them into your life for a reason, Karen. God brought you Partner Co for a reason. You prayed for an opportunity. You prayed for something. God's given you the opportunity. He's given you the people. Now embrace it. Don't let Satan come in and steal this from you. There is no guilt. There is no shame. None.
Absolutely. And Ashley, can you talk to us just a minute about in network marketing, you know what I mean, when we bring a bunch of people in and then we have people fall off? I think there's so many of us here that struggle with that, and I know, and then so we blame it on ourselves, and it has nothing to do with us. Like with Karen McNutt, there is not anybody that could do more for a team than this girl right here does. So talk to us a little bit about that, because it's even hard for me sometimes when I have all the hope in the world for somebody and then they just don't do it, or 6 of them turn off their auto ship at one time. Like, can you speak to us for a minute about that and what you see the purpose behind that, right? We go through the highs and then we go through some lows and then God brings us right back up again.
Yeah, it's just that you are taking, remember, this isn't a 30-year career. So you're taking 30 years of your life and you're condensing it down to 5 to 7 years. So that's like drinking water through a fire hose coming at you. And so you've got people, the masses coming at you in your life like water coming out of a fire hose, that if in traditional life of 30 years, it's not coming at you that fast. So when it's coming at you this fast, you get caught up in all the emotions of it, right? And you see the business going up and down, up and down, up and down. But see, y'all haven't hit a level. So you guys have been like this, right? You haven't just been hitting this. And that's what's going to happen. It just takes time. Remember, you're in the beginning of a brand new company that just happens to have infrastructure of, in 50 countries, and also products that have tested the time, and also a pay plan that's tested the time out here in the industry. So y'all are in the beginning stages. Y'all are laying the foundation. Y'all are the pioneers. Y'all are the pioneers. So in 4 years from now, look out, and there's gonna be so many systems that's gonna be so duplicatable. It's gonna be so easy. People are gonna be going, y'all are lucky. God, y'all got it so easy. I wish I was first. And the people that are turning their auto ships off now, they'll be back. They'll be back. Just because they have turned it off right now, season in their life, you can't answer for that, right? All you can do is love on them, love where they're at. They will be back. We've watched it so many times in this industry. So just don't quit yourself, because see, they're expecting you to quit. When you don't quit and they're going, oh my gosh, Karen's still doing that? Well, maybe there's something to it. I just thought it was going to be one of those things, I thought it was just going to fly through here and, no, I'm changing my family's life. I get to spend this time with my husband. I'm getting into the best doctors. I'm getting to be in the moments. And all the while, my business is still growing. How about that? That's unique. That's different, right? I got people that have surrounded myself. See, this is so different than the outside world that we're so accustomed to. We're accustomed to go out, be away from our family, work for 30 years, be around people we may like, we may not like. We all have just, you know what I mean? That don't really have our back, that are willing to stab us in the back in any given moment. You know what I mean? Not here. Not here. I got people that are really willing, that love me genuinely, that want to help me, that want to see me succeed. Karen, I want my ceiling to be your floor. I want to give you my ceiling and make it your floor. I want to lift you up higher than what I've ever achieved in my life. And I want you to do it better and faster and just look beautiful while you're doing it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want for you. I want that for everybody here. And y'all all can have it. Just don't quit, right? Just don't quit.
No quitters.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you so
quitters
much.
here. Yeah, and listen, it's just part of business. And everybody that came in that had this big, huge influx, like we just didn't have the leadership in place. So we got to go develop the leaders. Well, who are the leaders? I'm sitting here looking at them. Go look in the mirror right now. That's you. So where do you fit in that? Like what part, like I said, some leaders can lead a few, some leaders can lead the masses, some leaders can lead leaders. Where do you fit in that? We all fit somewhere. Where do you fit in? And only you can answer that. And then what are you willing to do to grow yourself to actually be able to go lead leaders? Because it's not easy. You're talking about some strong people, and allowing them to grow and be who they are and actually learn when to lead, when to walk beside them, and when to lift them up. So, listen, for you ladies and gentlemen that are here on a Saturday, kudos to y'all. Every single one of you. Man, y'all are powerful. So powerful for y'all to be here on a Saturday, Easter weekend. I can tell that y'all all want something different for your lives. Just go do it. Don't quit. Just go do it. And you guys have got an amazing team. Utilize each other. Utilize each other.